it is true that in general, in the whole of the Judeo-Christian tradition, the usual postures of the participants are in the posture of prayer. But I invite you actually to see if you can find posture of meditation, but an attitude of prayer. What's the difference? Posture of meditation requires a certain verticality in the back without tensions or without rigidity. And also, if your eyes were open, you should be able to look horizontally, as if you're placing yourself at the cross-section of the vertical and the horizontal dimensions. But if you are actually looking, if your eyes are actually open, don't look straight forward, but a little downward. Prayer, on the other hand, the general posture of prayers tend to lift your head up a little bit. In my own experience, and you can check this yourself, this actually interferes with breathing. And I therefore recommend to have the attitude of prayer, which is really submitting oneself to something much subtler, much higher, much more conscious than myself, which is really, in fact, the call of all spiritual teachings, but it is equally true everywhere else. So, to find a posture of meditation, as if you're searching for the truth or for God inside you, which all the sages in the Judeo-Christian tradition would also agree. So you're not looking for God up there, but attitude of submission, attitude of surrendering to something much subtler than myself. Depending on what you wish or what is helpful to you, you can keep your eyes open or closed. But again, a reminder from the Bible that God created human beings from the earth. Then he breathed his own breath into them to make them alive. So pay a little attention to your breath. We have a habit of saying my breath, but it is really the breath of God that is keeping me alive. And the attitude of prayer, as I said earlier also, requires this submitting to something much subtler, much higher than myself. Not higher in any geographical sense, but in the sense of higher consciousness. Therefore, what I need to have is an attitude of receptivity rather than demanding something. So more and more relaxation. All our tensions are actually forms of self-assertion. Freedom from tensions this is what I mean by saying more and more relaxation, enhances my receptivity. Whatever I can hear, and usually the first avenue to truth is actually feelings, subtle feeling. So even when I say when I hear, it is not some specific words, but see if something actually touches me, which may come from some words, from some sound. Sometimes great works of art can produce a feeling. And if I can again and again remind myself that I have been created not by myself, but by these divine energies which have created the whole universe. And deep down, each one of us wishes to realize why I have been created. How may I correspond to the raison d'etre of my existence? And again, a reminder, some of you have heard me say these things many times, but I feel myself that I need to remind myself periodically of these very obvious facts. Breathing is not only the air that I take in through my nostrils, various energies and vibrations are striking the whole of my body. And also, I am exuding vibrations. So, regard the word breathing slightly more largely. I receive vibrations, which also includes air, oxygen, and I give out vibrations.